So let's calculate the future value of an annuity using a real life example in a real life context that you may be able to relate with. So we have Zach, a senior student at Euclid High School, opens a retirement account and makes $200 payments into a mutual fund. It's a fancy term for investment in account. This investment earns 7.88% annual interest rate compounded quarterly. If he continues to make such payments, what will be the value of Zach's annuity in 5 years? And he is done. When? Once. Sorry. Once he's done with college. So let's talk about two things. This problem is a little bit unrealistic because he's saying that the money is getting compounded quarterly. If we are actually talking about real investments, the money is compounded annually, and that is something that you can calculate on your own as well. The difference is not too big at the beginning, but remember the whole purpose of this is investing for the future. So let's see. We're going to be using this formula. All right, the future value of Zach's annuity is going to be R. Remember, this is how much he's putting in. Well, he's putting in $200 at the end of each quarter. I is the interest rate. Well, the interest rate is 7.88%. But remember, I is equal to the annual rate divided by how many times per year. So if they say 7.88% compounded quarterly, we have to divide by 4, which gives us this value right here. And then we have to calculate what is N. N is the number of times per year times the number of years, and that will give us the total value. But in this case, it is compounded 4 times per year, so we have to multiply the number of years times 4. And what is K? Well, K is the number of compounded periods per year, as we have already established. So we follow this formula to see what happens, and this is what happens. Well, the future value of the annuity given by this formula in Zach's case is going to be $200 times 1 plus this is the rate divided by 4, which needs to be turned into percentage in decimals, okay? And be careful with that. N, well, N was the number of years times the number of periods. If we want to calculate in 5 years, 5 times 4 is 20 minus 1 divided by I, and remember this is the value for I. And if we calculate this, we get a total of $4,844.98. So let's talk about actually what Zach contributed into these numbers, all right? So the contribution, what was Zach's contribution? Zach contributed $200 times 4, which is a total of $800. $800 times 5 years, he only contributed $4,000 into the account. What are the gains? Well, we saw that at the end of 5 years, he has $4,844.98. Well, let's subtract the contributions. Oh, this would be 4,000 even. Ta-da. How much does he make in gain? $844.98. So this is how it works in the real investment for your retirement accounts. Any amount of money that you put in, you're allowed to withdraw any moment that you want. So Zach's $4,000 that he put in at the end of those 5 years, he's able to withdraw those $4,000 anytime he wants, depending on what type of account he set up. And the gains, well, he made a profit of $844.98. Well, guess what? If you actually want to empty out your investment account for retirement because of some problems or something, they make you pay a penalty. And the penalty is usually 10%, which is the penalty for withdrawing your gains because you were supposed to leave that money in there for your retirement. Why do you have a penalty? Because that's what it is. And also, this 844 is counted as part of your income. So it'll be taxed at whatever rate you're being taxed on your current job or whatever income you have. And as I said, it depends if it's considered a short-term gain or a long-term gain. Each of those different ones get taxed at different percentages. Short term means that you left it for grow for less than a year. Long term means that it was growing for more than a year and you pay lower taxes on those.